an interesting dynamic, isn't it? The Fang Bu, Petrissa Solja partnership. Two Chinese-speaking coaches behind them, of course. We know that one will translate to German, but I mean, is it just a case of hand signals, a quick look to each other just for some encouragement, perhaps?
You're right, it's all about communicating, in this case return and service, and if you look carefully you see those hand signals under the table and so on, indicating what kind of service coming, and then you sort of have to judge what's going to come in terms of returns. But you said that everything is set up with these signals, where to place the ball so they know what's coming.
Crowd already firmly behind the Fang Bu Solja partnership. But it's the Japanese here, very, very quick out of the blocks.
Nice touch return, completely tricked Fang Bu there. We thought it was going to be long and then short. You don't see that too often. 2 bounce on the table, that's extremely rare actually. Nice touch by Ishikawa.
You can see, look at his face, that tells the story, doesn't it? He was completely fooled with that. Lovely touch that was.
Good double serve, and really Yoshimura is developing into be one of these doubles experts. Plays well with Kokiniwa as well in men's double, and here now with Ishikawa in mixed doubles. In this opening game, Ishikawa has been returning very well. It means that you neutralize the attacking skills of Fang Bu, and that's exactly what you want from a Japanese perspective.
Lovely change of direction that from Bu.
Taiwan behind the back actually didn't succeed, but it was kind of a spectacular shot. And sometimes they do hit the table.
Oh, just look at Ishikawa. Does she ever stop moving those feet? Such a bundle of energy, isn't she?
And I think if you look at it, Petrissa Solja, also the key for her is that she's not a very fast player, but her footwork needs to be good all the time. Exactly point before there, standing a little still and misjudging, mistiming the ball.
Just beginning to make inroads into the deficit now, Solja and Bu. Took them a while to warm up, but they're warming to the task in hand at the moment.
Good back and opening, solid spin on the ball, drove the technique nicely through. Nice flow and a strong opening shot by Petrissa Solja.
Oh, the crowd once again just engaging themselves, and let battle commence here in this opening game. Too close now at 1 point. Make that 2 points. That was huge. Just to stop the run of Solja and Bu, just beginning to build up a head of steam. Just slightly off balance there, Bu, as well. Difficult to control that forehand.
Fang Bu asked for a no-spin serve and got it, and Ishikawa then couldn't keep it low enough. It's just so critical, those few centimeters there, and he gave him time and then attacked over the table. So, well, tactically set up by the German-Chinese combination.
Would you believe it? You said it would be a tight match at the start in the introduction. Didn't look it was going to be that way in the first game, but just look at the score now, 9 points each. Oh, what a fast, high-octane point that was.
Yoshimura did very well there to pick that ball up. He was a little bit late reacting, but still got it over the net with a lot of spin, and well done.
Just a quick discussion there for Ishikawa and Yoshimura. First game point of the contest. Oh, Fang Blue there, showing some class there with that return.
He took an initiative there around first time and then found really difficult shot right out in the corner, forehand corner for Yoshimura, and nobody home at all.
Tactically astute in that point. Solja just giving the message there to Boo as to how she wanted that point to be set up, and they executed the plan to perfection.
Slightly weaker return from Yoshimura, and then well done by Solja, who was there, right? Aggressive shot, confident.
It's a very, very tight opening game this that we're witnessing. Huge psychological advantage for whichever pair that goes ahead to take it.
Remember last time now, Fang asked for a no spin serve. Let's see now what's going to come. Struggles now, and that's a sort of a mental game there. You can almost see it beforehand that she didn't like the two returns last time, and now tricked again. So what an advantage for Germany, China now.
Well, they've done it. They've had to work hard. They started very, very slowly. But Fang Bu and Petrissa Solja, to the delight of the crowd, with the first game on the board in their favour. Wow, it was tense, wasn't it? Edge of the seat stuff.
Yeah, you're perfectly right. It was really, and it becomes such a tactical setup in the end with Wu Fang directing traffic with those serves of Solja. But I do believe that Solja stepped up her game. She got into it and grew more confident as he went along. Didn't do any really mistakes and played a couple of good shots, and she was sort of the winner here, although Wu Fang's return deep to Yoshimura's forehand, we remember that one too.
She started very slowly. Perhaps she was nervous being here in front of an expectant German public. Now, is it about her just being solid rather than spectacular, just keeping the ball coming back over the table and not looking to open up too often?
But I do believe that the pressure is on her, actually. She knows that she plays with a fantastic partner here in Fang Bu. She's been given the opportunity, and it's a gold medal, I'm sure, in sort of the mindset for the German-Chinese combination. So, of course, she feels pressure. She needs to step up. Lost early in the singles, which was a huge disappointment for her. So, good to see her sort of finding the groove and being in very competitive here.
So it was the Japanese pair who were dialed in right from the off at the start, the early exchanges of the first game before Solja and Bu found their rhythm. 3 unforced errors in a row now from Bu and Solja. 2 for Bu, 1 for the German. So Japanese players will take that all day long. Perhaps one of those could go down as a forced error.
You see a trend here that the Japanese team wants to create a short game and kind of lock in both Fang's attacking skills and force Solja to sort of give the ball out to them, and then they start first attacking. Almost apologizing Yoshimura for that one, and it was a little late reacting, you see there, and didn't go forward, took a little bit too much risk. Shima put that one safely on the table. It's all about playing safe in doubles too. You have to have that mindset to play for your partner, I should say. Play it up, let them decide when to kill the ball or try to take that risk element. So it's almost managing your risk in your opening shots.
Finished that point off brilliantly there, Solja. They set it up so well from the serve, don't they? The Chinese-German collaboration. Too good.
Killer forehand from Ishikawa. First time we saw that, but stepped really into the ball, took it early up on the highest point of contact and just basically kill it. Followed up with a smart serve, you slid it longer this time. So sometimes if your opponent is not strong opening shots, then that could be good tactics too, because Yoshimura can take that ball and work with it.
Oh, a couple of beautiful forehands struck here from Ishikawa. Deja vu here. It is the Japanese pair who are creeping forward here to the edge of this last game. Well, that'll certainly bode well, that last point there for Solja. Coaches there showing appreciation for both players in that last rally. Good depth on the table there from the German as well. Her father, Pavel, has played a big part in her rise as well, and I wonder if he's somewhere in the crowd watching her today as well. Still a very big influence on Petrissa Solja.
Creeping back into it again. You get a feeling that Ishikawa really let loose on a couple of forehands, but that one is Yoshimura way too much behind, far off from the table in order to execute well, and just backing off too easy. So we talked about it, find the right distance and work together. Ishikawa's really been struggling with no-spin services, so let's see if Fang can trick her again.
Well called, sir. If it isn't broken, why fix it?
Because her flicking game is not working too well for the moment, and of course she's more maybe attacking and then cutting the ball strong, but right now she's struggling to control the ball, especially when no-spin service is coming.
Smart, very, very smart there from Yoshimura.
done by Solja. Went in very early, knew that best would be to keep it short, and this is very much a tactical game now, because both female players are trying to control the male attacking skills by putting it short. So Ishikawa had good success with a half-long serve. Let's see what's coming.
Seen a few errors on the Fang Bu backhand today in this match, Michael. Well, that's very uncharacteristic.
I got tricked there, but it's a hard thing because it's short. You never know how good the players are. Maybe Fang is probably more, to his liking when he can play an open game and very strong attacking skills. Maybe this is one of his weaker sides, I would say. Although the weakness is very small, so to say. But and I also thought it was a smart serve by Solja, who released it a little longer. She just have to watch out so Yoshimura is not attacking with the topspin on her serve. That's the whole thing. So probably she has to shorten it down a bit now.
Oh, well. 2 game points have disappeared here from Ishikawa and Yoshimura. Well, this history about to repeat itself. Let's not forget what happened in the first game. They were ahead, but then Solja and Bu just found their A game, just found that extra level. It's a similar situation here. Beautifully balanced here, this second game. 10 points each. Oh, that was a huge point. Didn't miss the table there by much, Fang Bu, but it's those small margins. Game point for the 3rd time now.
Exactly, you couldn't read the spin and the serve, misjudged it a little bit, and the ball just flew off the table.
Needs to get this serve right on the money here, Fang Bu. Well. Just had to adjust the shape of her body there, Ishikawa, to go for that big booming forehand. But how cool as ice there was Fang Bu with that serve. Well, we expected drama here on day 6, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Perfectly placed. He did make a mistake on one of the opening shots, Fang Bu, but now it's come back 2 times in a row with a perfectly placed topspin from a very difficult situation. A lot of spin in that ball, almost impossible to control for Ishikawa.
Well, they've saved 3 game points, and now they've carved out one for themselves here, Bu and Solja, on the Solja serve. Well, this time the Ishikawa forehand gets to work to touch of magic.
Just thinking, why did I put that one across the table? Because there was Yoshimura waiting, basically.
Well, that's the fastest winning speed so far, 71 kilometers an hour. Well, this game here, game number 2, is absolutely huge. Psychologically here, if Solja and Bu nail it, well, that really will be a huge boost for them. And they've given themselves another chance of doing exactly that now.
All credit to Petrissa Solja, playing very well. Good backhand opener there. Knows she is up against a tough opponent, but perform or excellent shot actually. Put Yoshimura under a lot of pressure.
Oh, what a rally that brings the curtain down on game number 2. History has repeated itself here once again. Fang Bu and Petrissa Solja were down and out. They saved game points And after another very, very tight second game, they've managed to come through with light at the end of the tunnel, and they're in the ascendancy now, 2-0. And what will that do to the mindset now of the Japanese pair in having those game points disappear again?
Yeah, you wonder what happened here, because they were totally in control, and we had a sequence of points where Ishikawa was really dominating with a forehand toss spin, and the game was going and so on. But in the end, you know, it comes down to unbelievable small margins, placements, good individual performance by Fang, I thought. But Solja also complementing Fang very well now, especially in the end of the game, where she really picks up her game, and she has been very, very solid in terms of decision making and execution.
Well, things are going according to the script if you are a Chinese table tennis supporter or German. There's the second game summary as well, and perhaps the 9 unforced errors to 6 makes a very interesting read in there as well. Very tight with regard to service points won and the service points percentage as well.
So it's been a very closely contested match so far, and of course them being down 0-2 and 2 games up for Fang and Solja, then that's a good cushion to have, I would say. So let's see if the Japanese pair can find an answer.
Well, they need to find an answer to those questions, Michael, because both game 1 and 2, on the surface of things, really they should have had those 2 in their favour. And you're quite right to touch upon the fact as well, she's really grown into this game, Solja, again, and kept it watertight, very few unforced errors from her. And again, you're right, she's just complimenting Fang at the moment. It's so interesting to watch. Really was 2015 when Petrissa Solja made the breakthrough, leading several top players to reach the German Open final.
We have the same sequence of play as we had in the opening game now. So one serving to the other player, and let's see if they can improve as they gradually go along and control the other player's service better. Well done by Yoshimura, who then, we talked about the distance there. He found the distance, came close again, and it's an effective sort of move by him.
Well, dragged out wide there, Boo. To use his legs there to try and get that ball back onto the table.
They've done very well, Ishikawa, Yoshimura, when the game or the play opens up a little bit, and Ishikawa can come in with her forehand topspin. That's been a sort of a winning sequence of play for them.
Well, they're ahead once again here are the Japanese pair, and at the start of the game, and well, the big question mark for them really is, can they stay ahead right to the bitter end? Forcing some mistakes now from the Chinese-German pairing. Already this year we've seen Fang win a mixed doubles title at the Hungarian Open in Budapest. Semi-finalist as a singles player, of course, in the Qatar Open in Doha. Well, they needed a reaction here, Ishikawa and Yoshimura, and they're going about their business in very, very positive fashion here. Oh, well played. That is Ishikawa in a nutshell in that last point.
It's been well this game, you know, hitting everything with a forehand and really opening up the table, so to say, but it's finding everything, especially one deep in forehand, which it took it down the line, and this open game, I think, fits her very well. She's been struggling in this match with her returning, but overall, her forehand game has been good, her blocking game also solid. So 9-3 should be a little bit of enough lead to take this home, you would imagine.
Well, just need to see it through, don't they? Bring home the bacon, so to speak, but never write off Fang or Petrissa Solja the way that they've finished these games. Well, see the body language there of Yoshimura. So that despite this lead here, he's still under some stress.
A little bit lucky there, not the best serve actually from Yoshimura, and Solja, I think she understands she should put that one on the table.
Great reaction here from Kasumi Ishikawa and her partner Yoshimura. Oh, that is a game they really needed. That is the understatement of the year, and they've done it in fashion as well by winning by many, many game points to spare. So perhaps they can just relax slightly now. They needed that game, and well, they got it. So you have to give a lot of credit to them for that. And certainly Ishikawa played her part, really. She played the captain's role, you could say, in just dragging herself and her partner through that game.
Absolutely, she was the best player on court for this particular game, and I think for her too. I mean, if you struggle with returns, you want those open games, and maybe a little careless from Solja. Fang concentration lost a little bit in the beginning, and then suddenly you have a player who's red hot on the other side. So you have to be careful in doubles to open the door for comebacks or for a player to get going, and she's such a key for this Japanese setup, because you get a feeling that Yoshimura struggles a bit too, and as you say, better services. This combination, of course, same as we had in the first game, is something that fits them a little bit better than the other combination. Position is important in doubles too, and I'm interested to see the statistics there when you see deep forehand corner for Solja, for example, who was in deep forehand, so they have to move her all the way out there all the time. So I guess that Ishikawa was dominating that diagonal of play between the two left-handed girls.
Well, that'll certainly do Petrissa Solja the world of good. A couple of decent points that she's just played there.
Not only decent, I would say very, very good, and I'm sure on coach's instruction, because Yoshimura, you want to find deep forehand is a weak spot for him. He has a tendency to move and cover a lot of ground with his forehand, and I think if you look at it, he opens up all the time his forehand corner. So this is a tricky shot to go there because it's small margins and it's sort of a risk if he's there, but they found something for sure there. They have to trick him out to open up the forehand corner, and both when they return against him and attack against him.
Right down the middle, through the Ivory Needle this time. Fantastic speed around the table there from Ishikawa.
Missed it over her. He's ducking a bit. which they do sometimes when they have to get underway or get the body off the playing line.
It's a bit of an untidy start to this game here from Yoshimura.
They put pressure on Yoshimura, and I think that's a good way to do it, because they have to play stronger on him and force mistakes from Yoshimura, who's a little bit more wobbly at times in making a few mistakes here and there. Although his capacity is very high, also his lower standard can sometimes be a problem for him.
Good start here for Bu and Solja. Chemistry is good, the harmony is good. They're setting up the points very well so far in this game.
Solja has been dominating Yoshimura in this particular game and really placing the ball very well.
Oh, bang, boo, that was brilliant. Loaded that with spin, right down the line on the table. Just look how well he used his legs in that point. Gets the weight of his body behind it. Better start here for Solja and Bu. The first time they've started a game well.
You see, they've been reading also Yoshimura's placement. A couple of backhands now, cross court, right down to the diagonal, and they've read that placement and then was able to recover and attack.
But they're staring down the barrel of a gun here. Oh, the Japanese pairing. Four points adrift here, game number 4. Well, she must feel that she's public enemy number 1 out there, Ishikawa. They've really targeted her in the last few points.
It's a little bit target practice actually for Fang, but it depends, because Yoshimura is again a little bit far off the table, cannot put power in the ball, and he's just dominating the whole shot making right now. Although that was better from Yoshimura, of course, an aggressive return.
Well, just enjoying themselves now. I just have to reiterate, it is a bank holiday, a public holiday weekend in Germany. Perhaps have played another reason in why we are sold out for the next 3 days. It's beginning to creep in more and more spectators now, and battle royale here on table number 1 at the moment. Just beginning to win the mini battle now, Fang, Bu and Petrissa Solja. Another game here in their favour, perhaps they'll go ahead to win the war.
It's well done, and also off balance, so if that ball comes up, he's out of place. So he took a risk.
Well, a medal is guaranteed for either pair here. There's potentially gold and silver on the line here. And here we are, game number 4, and the first timeout has been called.
Yes, indeed, and I think they have to talk it over, of course. There was a lot of conversation going on between Li Gusheng and Ji Shup on the bench all the time, talking, and now trying to find solutions. So They just want to give instructions now to keep going because they played a strong game. Lost a little bit concentration here in the end, and now, of course, discuss with one service left or go Fang critically what service to pick out of the pocket. And of course, Solja coming up after this point, returning towards Yoshimura. She's been successful finding the deep forehand corner before, so sort of remind them what's been working to build this lead.
So it's a critical stage now of the fourth game. 2-2, game on, 3-1. Potentially it's game over here for Ishikawa and Yoshimura. So reaction here needs to be spot on here, fresh after the first time out.
A little bit of a risk, but also good spin in the serve, and exactly those kind of serves Ishikawa has been struggling with from the get-go.
Oh, well played here from Fang and Petrissa Solja. 2 points right after the timeout, and with that now, they have themselves a healthy cushion, a 2-game cushion here, looking to go for gold and reach the mixed doubles semi-final. Well, they started well and ended well, and that's the first game that they've managed to do that.
I think both players stepped up their game, and it was a dominating performance in this particular fourth game. So now with a 3-1 lead, they're in a winning position, absolutely, and should. I get a feeling that they have more to come with. They make less mistakes for the moment, so it's a tough challenge for the Japanese pairing to sort of raise their level from both sides, so to say.
Well, with regards to Ishikawa, it's been kind of sporadic. You know, we've seen some flashes of brilliance from her as well, but slightly more unforced errors than I would have expected from her today.
Exactly, she's been struggling with returning of service, and in doubles that's really critical. You see the advantage in service points for Fang and Solja. Many of those are against Ishikawa. So that means that all the time variation in serves, talk again, what serve to put under constant pressure. She's struggling to find that touch game, which is sometimes happens because of nerves or other things, and that's where I think they have been focusing most of their coaching.
So it's an uphill mountain to climb right now for the Japanese pairing. German-Chinese collaboration, a game away from the final.
Spectacular again by Yoshimura, who has that ability to, from half distance, put those shots on the table many times. Kind of streaky fellow, the Japanese Yoshimura.
Wow, it's a cold start here from both Solja and Bu.
It's funny sometimes how much this combination in doubles, who you're playing against, comes back, especially in mixed doubles. It's evident that some combination of play fits one pairing better than the other, and you will see that again, perhaps when they won easy in the third game. You see the same lineup here.
Better. Lovely wrist action, lovely wrist work this time. Oh, plenty of cameras around table number one here to witness this mixed doubles semi-final. Plenty of Chinese, plenty of Japanese journalists and supporters here in Düsseldorf. It's been the story of the match, really, for Ishikawa. Bits and pieces with regards to her. Some good, some bad, really.
Just decided to flick that ball and just open up the game, because of course it's a risk always to go long with your return, but because the other player is going to get an attack, being attacked, but sometimes you just have to do that instead of doing like that, because that just opens up the whole table, and it's much harder for Yoshimura maybe to find both attack coming from over the table rather than from deep. So anyway, they are only 2 points up now after a good start.
That's a big miss, really, for Fang. Just throws the impetus back here towards Ishikawa and Yoshimura.
You'll take that any time of the day when female player serves against the male player and scores 2 points. Well done, Ishikawa. She really pulled up her socks and executed her service very well. Nice flow, nice technique, nice touch. Also in this combination of play, Yoshimura playing against Solja, be challenging her backhand all the time, and he's returning, quick action down to the backhand side.
Oh, well played. Brilliantly struck backhand. Enjoy this again here on the replay, Michael. That looked great, didn't it?
Very nicely done on that backhand. Just a quick reaction. Perfect to be there with the racket and then just block the ball diagonal. This is one of his part of his strong side, Yoshimura, to pick those balls up from far down and get such an arc and topspin on the ball. It's hard to control.
So they're back in business here, Ishikawa and Yoshimura. And it's the second time they've put a game on the board. It's the second time they've done it well, with plenty of game points to spare. And I need to start well and end well here, because I believe that this mixed doubles semi-final is far from over.
You see the combination of play. They dominated the first game in this lineup. They took the third, they took the fifth. So now they come into a combination of play where they struggled more next game. So I would say it's still quite a big advantage for both Fang and Solja, who now have their sort of best lineup coming in next game. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Japanese pair can pick up their game and be solid in service and return.
Much better service points percentage this time for the Japanese pair, and again, not so good there on the right-hand side. 10 on forced errors as well. Just didn't get their engines going in that game.
No, the energy level has been down in both those. Again, you come back to who they play against, but they don't like that, and they cannot find the perhaps best abilities to attack in that combination. So then, of course, the energy goes down, but let's see, they've been quite strong so far to play well on the more important point, the German-Chinese pairing.
Just a quick handshake there from Ishikawa and Yoshimura. Down to business once again. So game 5, just a game adrift again here. Serving first at the start.
You
When we talk about that deep forehand on Yoshimura, it's such an effective shot, and you show that from the beginning. Then you open up both corners basically for Solja. Now she can decide you want to go down the line with my flick or want to challenge in the deep forehand again. So she's really, putting him under pressure. Yeah, right idea, but just played it on the net and out. Actually, a more risky return by Yoshimura, went in harder with his racket, took the ball off the bounce and put a little bit underspin in it, but was successful. And it shows that he's on this game. He knows that he has to play better. Nice to see the combination though. They're really trying to support each other, and he understood that he made a mistake, and she was already there touching his hand and sort of encouraging to keep going.
Well played. Crowd thoroughly enjoying that point as well. And it's something we spoke about earlier. There's very little eye contact between Boo and Solja, but the combination just seems to work. It seems to gel, doesn't it?
It does, and they follow instructions, I think. They've been both are very solid players mentally. They don't give away a lot of emotions or stuff. They go about the business, and this is all about placement and knowing what to do. And at that time, of course, they both understood the importance of that point.
It's a hugely important sixth game, this one. Potentially the last, potentially the penultimate game. And you can see the reactions now of the players. Every point won, they celebrate it.
One of the reasons why they struggle in this particular combination is because Yoshimura is placing everything to diagonal. He goes around the corner and plays diagonal. He goes with his backhand, plays cross court. So Fang is controlling that. He knows that where the ball is going to come. So Yoshimura needs to put a little bit more thought into his placement of the ball, and did well there.
Do you think he heard you?
No, he knows, but it was just again an open rally, and it was a good rally too.
Oh, the rallies are getting better and better. The bar has been raised, the level has been raised, and so is the decibel level inside the Messe Arena. Right down the middle, with venom as well, with spice on that forehand.
And not the best return by Solja. Couldn't control it at all. The first time, really a mistake now for a while. And that happens. You just have to forget it. It's probably a misjudge of the length of service, and she should have been more aggressive.
All eyes are on table number one as we speak. No activity over on table number two. So all sides of this arena are locked down with regard to the activity here. Of the 5 previous games, this one, game number 6 so far, perhaps has been the tightest.
All about minimizing mistakes now, nothing else. Just keep your quality up, and at that time don't give away too many easy points. If your opponent's going to win a point, they have to play well. That's because then you have that feeling that you're in the game. Don't make the mistakes in service and return.
Oh, what a rally that was. He put everything into that Fang Boo.
We were asking for that one, deep forehand for Fang too, so he made that shot coming up right there, not going cross and going down the line instead. And you see what the surprise that was, and that built the whole point. Although Fang was very, very close to putting that on the table. It's like gymnasts. They fly around in that low position.
And it is indeed time for a calm head. Yes, there's air conditioning inside this arena, but plenty of spectators here. So it's a bit more moisture as well, a bit more heat inside. You just can't take your eyes off the table at the moment. Again, the crowd showing appreciation for another quality rally. And they use the energy to push Fang Bu and Petrissa Solja over the line here and get themselves within contention for gold.
I feel that was a little bit unnecessary risk-taking by her. They've been quite successful putting the ball short back, and although she had to reach in, and that was a risk management error, if you may say, from Petrissa Solja.
Well, we just touched upon that, didn't we? Time for a calm head, time for a clear head, and she's been at her best when she's just played solid table tennis. A couple of big points that the Japanese have managed to win now.
Good backhand attack by Yoshimura, who got a lot of spin on that and stood firm at the table, didn't fall back too far, and then, you know, really challenged Fang to the middle forehand, which is just well done by him.
Well, they've had to dig so deep in the last 3 points here. Ishikawa and Yoshimura dug deep, they have. Look at it now, things are perhaps about to get very rosy in their garden. 3 game points to square it off at 3 each. What a way to do it. Keep your seatbelts on, because the first mixed doubles semi-final on table number 1 is going the distance. Well, 2 games in a row, they're in the ascendancy now, they have the momentum now, and it's a big question as to who's going to take that momentum early into this deciding game.
Well, what a solid game of mixed double from the Japanese pairing, and I'm quite impressed. Yoshimura, as we said, stepped up his level really here and found Fang down the line, challenged his forehand side, had much better variation in attacking towards both corners. So that was a huge difference. So all on him. I think he made he leveled the score here actually by playing much better, and it's going to be crucial now. Of course, in the 7th game, you rotate the lineup after half of the game. You change again who you're serving against to make it even. And they start off in a combination here now where they've been better, the Japanese pairing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, only 1 winner struck in that game there from Fang and Solja. Again, the service points, they need to up the ante on that. But it's so interesting going into this final game, because the Japanese, when they win a game, there's points to spare. When it's Solja and Bu, it's very tight, and you almost feel like the Japanese pair have to give up their game points to do so. So with that in mind, well, what an interesting last game we're about to have. So a medal guaranteed for either pair, but no doubt in their minds they want to go 1 better, put themselves in contention for gold.
And I like that handshake. that was nice to see, actually.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? It's only taken them till the 5th game to do so.
They have a plan in mind, and thank you very much for being here. This politeness of Japanese players is wonderful to see.
I think the key to this is how Solja plays as well. Yoshimura as well. Who's going to be the cleanest of those two. We know what to expect from Bu and Ishikawa.
He had that one. He knew it. He was just a little late in reaction, although it was a good shot by Fang. I think that he normally puts 7 out of 10 and those kind of shots on the table, and immediately recognized he was a little late on the ball.
That's just the point I was touching upon as to whether she can be neat and tidy, keep the unforced error count low. Ishikawa and Fang have been in this situation many times in their careers, high up the food chain with regards to getting gold medals.
You can always sense the butterflies flying around here in the commentary booth. Imagine down on the court. Wow. It's all about negotiating.
Yeah, it is. It's tense up here in the commentary position, no doubt. Magnified 10 times down on table number 1. You feel the tension in the arena. Just got to shake that off, Solja. Reset, start all over again.
Yoshimura has been scoring quite a lot with that forehand flick down to back, and I'm interesting to see how Solja, how far out she's positioning herself, and that can be a little tricky actually to get into a right position. You see, she's way outside the table, and struggling in that when she comes into play, struggles with her backhand to pull it down the line, and she sort of has to force it to be played against Ishikawa's backhand side, and then she can control the blocking. They go across, they go down the line and put Fang under pressure.
Well, what a battle royale we are watching here on table number 1. 2 games down, the Japanese pairing. They have parity, and they have the lead by a couple of points here in a decider.
Oh, a rare attack by Ishikawa now with forehand over the table, and what well judged, well read, I would say, the distance, and she understands she has to be aggressive on that push there, let it drop, and very, very low over the net. Good quality. Excellent play by Ishikawa.
Okay, Marco, cards on the table time. Where is this one going?
You got to show your aces, that's it. And it's coming with the serve here now with Yoshimura.
Good answer. Oh, they're on a roll now, they're on a roll. Creating pressure here, Ishikawa and Yoshimura.
Exactly here, you sense as well that the communication skills is the key thing, you know. You have to talk it over and you have to communicate, and they've already blown the timeout, so it's a tricky situation now for Chinese-German combination.
Well, that was a huge point. They had to win it. They didn't. I called in earlier as to how Solja would play this position. Gold medal on the line, or potential gold medal on the line. Fang Bu as well has been slightly erratic as well. So 5 points now the margin.
Oh, what a nice return from Ishikawa. Confidence been growing in a return. You see it, more relaxed, better touch. Now controlling suddenly, and what an excellent world-class return.
Badly needed point there.
Yeah, they need one more. They need to get contact, need to put pressure back on the other side. It's been a one-way street, so to say, and with all Japanese signs in this 7th game.
Oh, the avalanche really was building. Better, much better control this time from Solja. Kissed the edge of the table there with that backhand.
But a bit of running around again from Yoshimura is quite fantastic to see his athletic abilities, but he gets out of play, in of play, and just running around. He needs to stay solid and focused as well.
been seated in his chair pretty much for this final game. So 9-4, the match is theirs to lose for the Japanese.
To come back in a situation like that, you have to put your best quality opening shots. That can cause a lot of pressure to the other side. If the quality is good enough, you can score right away, because it's such a game of ebb and flow.
Well, that's a shame there for Petrissa Solja. Silence inside the Messi Arena. We're hoping to see a German player go for gold here, but it is Ishikawa and Yoshimura here with 5 match points. Lots of points to wrap up proceedings here for Kasumi Ishikawa and Maharu Yoshimura. 1-3 down in games. They've turned it around to win 3 games in a row, and in the end they just had that extra skill set. They brought their A game to the table right in the critical stage of this match, and I have to give a lot of credit to Ishikawa. Slightly erratic throughout the game, but in the end it was anything but, wasn't it?
And did he look up to the table? There's gods, Yoshimura, but I believe it was the handshake before the start of the Sevens game. That was an agreement that let's go for gold now and forget everything else. And really, they played fantastic. Game 6, Game 7.
Well, how delighted are they?
World-class mixed double from the Japanese.
Exactly, it was a world-class game from start to finish. It was a match that the crowd just engaged themselves in. Of course, it